like, I don't know if that's going to happen.
So what would be your elevator pitch to someone who says this is government interference and infringement on free speech?
Well, I think that, the FCC would be what is it? ABC's on public airways. There are licensing requirements. You have to meet the public's interest. If the FCC finds that you have violated that public interest, that is what regulation does.
Yeah.
Like, that is what regulation does. You love regulations, don't you?
Yeah,
you love
I think that
police
they
from the government.
they would find a way to say this is a government vendetta no matter what. If it's going to be, and like you said, he's been on the air for the last 8 months now that Trump's been in office and has said
this
a whole
did
bunch
not
of
become an
things.
issue
Yeah.
until we were talking, because the problem here is that when you're talking with pundits and individuals that are on the left, they're blinded and they don't understand, or I don't know if they don't understand or are unwilling to understand.
It's willing ignorance, like willful ignorance. That's what it is.
But the assassination of Charlie Kirk, we're talking about two very different situations here. Okay. If we're going to be having a debate of freedom of speech, let's put aside Trump and influence in the government and everything. Look, do I think it would have been better for Brendan Clark
not to just don't say anything?
Yeah,
don't go
to just keep his mouth shut and stay out of it? Absolutely. Okay. But even if he said nothing, which we saw this with Stephen Colbert, because they were going through a merger also,
right?
They would still accuse them of cozying up to the administration because they have a merger going on.
Of course.
So
it had nothing to do with the fact that no one watched their show. And these are businesses that want to make money. And they're not going to make money if you're not funny or you think it's cute or edgy to make fun of a group of people that's grieving because someone was assassinated.
And that, to me, is like, if we're just going to have a principled conversation real quick, to me, it's wild that the left is not grasping the vast difference here. Right. Jimmy Kimmel is a millionaire in Hollywood who has a TV show that nobody watches, who made a bad joke that he's unwilling to apologize for. Okay.
Right.
And that his
boss
bosses
go get a job somewhere else.
Correct.
At any moment. But guess who can't?
Like Charlie Kirk, not only is it that he was assassinated for practicing the very thing that they're all upset that allegedly Jimmy Kimmel won't have, okay? But not only that, but if you took 5 seconds to grasp that what happened to Charlie Kirk didn't just happen to him, but it happened to millions of people.
Yes.
Because now they're being told that if you say the wrong thing out in public, and if you voice yourself boldly and strongly, and you're not wishing any ill will on anyone else, you can be shot dead.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that silences millions of people as opposed to Jimmy Kimmel and his crap show. Sorry.
No, I think you're right. I think that we forget, I've seen this kind of meme going around saying, you didn't just show me that you were okay with Charlie Kirk being shot. You're showing me you're okay with that same thing happening to me. Because effectively, it's not like the media is telling us we should be really brokenhearted about this comedian who is not being canceled for free speech. He's not being doxxed. Nothing's going to happen to him. He can go get a job and say whatever the heck he wants anywhere else. Like, he can go do that. But they're not
start his own production company and make.
But they're not telling us. They're not even really granting people the permission structure to feel sad. Their whole job this last week has been to tell us how horrible Charlie is. And so until people can see that a large segment of our society is more broken up and more concerned, giving more airtime and more deference to someone like Jimmy Kimmel than to Charlie Kirk, I have a major problem with that. That says something about the soul of our country. This is not a free speech issue for Jimmy Kimmel. It was absolutely a free speech issue for Charlie Kirk. And a large portion of Democrats and the media is sympathizing with him and demonizing people who sympathize and writing puff pieces about, how.
Or excuses, but,
it's really sad.
Well, and then I'm just very annoyed because I've seen a few posts or a few tweets of like, this is the most significant attack on free speech. And I'm like, where were you a week ago?
Yeah.
Get out. Please shut the door, because otherwise I'm gonna punch you in the face if you don't shut that door.
I can think of about 100 more consequential free speech issues that happened during COVID alone
Absolutely.
in the last couple years.
Well,
This
and
is
that,
not
okay,
it. This is
I
not
should
it.
have grabbed it, because Jimmy Kimmel, during COVID, I shared it on my stories.
Oh, yeah.
He made this joke about, like, well, you know, if we're running out of hospital beds and someone comes in with the COVID vaccine, immediately give them a hospital bed.
Right.
But if you didn't take COVID, you know, got to wait in line over there, wheezy or whatever. Like, get out. He celebrated Trump getting booted off of X. He celebrated when Roseanne Barr lost her show, and she had like the most popular sitcom at the time.
And if I am correct, if I'm remembering correctly, Barack Obama did have a little bit of a word put in there when that whole thing happened. Like, he kind of lobbied a little bit for that too. I mean,
well, and that's the other thing. Like, Obama actually is probably going to, if we have time, come into this entire conversation. But to go ahead and wrap us up, I just want to point out, because like the gaslighting was strong this morning about that's not what he meant. Well, I want to play for you someone who's not exactly a fan of Trump, and a cohort actually of Jake Tapper, which is Aaron Burnett, reporting on this story. And I just want you to pay attention to what she says. And she also has like a little bit of tidbit of information on what's going on with Kimmel.
And back with our breaking news, Jimmy Kimmel's show pulled off the air indefinitely amid controversy for suggesting in a monologue that the suspected killer of Charlie Kirk might have been a pro-Trump Republican. Elizabeth Wagmeister is back with us. And Elizabeth, you've been breaking news on this throughout the night, and I know you've got new information. What have you found out?
Yes, so a source close to the situation tells me that this is not a cancellation at the moment, but there is no timeline for the show to come back. As we know, ABC said officially in their statement that this is preempted indefinitely. But I have to tell you, Aaron, my phone is blowing up. People in the industry are absolutely shocked over this, and many people saying that even though it's not a cancellation at this moment, it's hard to imagine the show coming back. This is not about one comment about Charlie Kirk's killer. This is a decade of Jimmy Kimmel bashing Trump. They've been going back and forth for years. So it's really hard to imagine Trump rolling out the red carpet and saying, hey, you've taken a break. Why don't you come back on the air? So that's where things stand right now. But people just really shocked in Hollywood, Aaron.
Yeah, really.
I wonder if any of those same people who were shocked and texting her all the time and aghast and crying, I wonder if any of them, I wonder if her phone was blowing up when this same thing happened to Charlie Kirk.
I just want to point out that the Emmys just happened.
Yeah.
And there was not a single mention of Charlie Kirk's assassination during the Emmys. But they were all crying about Palestine. Okay?
Yeah.
So.
And dropping like F-bombs, like F-ice. Like, I cannot. It's not even an annoyance at this point. It's not even me being like, oh, whatever. The liberals are going to be liberals. This is a core foundational problem, an insidious kind of darkness in our culture that we are so numbed, that there is a segment of our society that is so numbed. And I don't know what exactly causes this to happen in people, but that they don't feel proper feelings when something like what happened to Charlie Kirk happens. That means there's something missing inside of you, that you can somehow talk yourself out of the severity and the horrific nature of it. And then a week later, all of a sudden muster all of these feelings of shock and awe when some guy who mouths off, when there hasn't even been a memorial service for this man and there's outpouring all over the country for this tragedy, he mouths off and says stupid stuff. And you're like, wow, this is horrible. What's happened to him? I just think it says a lot about our culture right now.
I think it's reflective of the polls that have just been done recently. Like YouGov did a poll recently where it said like 3%, which is too much in my opinion, like 3% of conservatives think that some like violent action is merited, political violence is merited.
No, that needs to be 0.
Exactly. That's ridiculous. But liberals, it's like, I think it was 24% or something like that. Yeah.